What's up, guys? It's Cyclone back here with another Trillium beer review. And this is going to be the final one from my latest trip. I needed to wait on this one because I've had this beer already and it was a little bit green the first time I had it, but this is now my fourth can and it's just been getting better as I've been drinking it. I feel like we're now 9 days away from canning, and I feel like we're now entering the Goldilocks territory where some of the hop notes may have spread out and gotten rid of some of that green bite that was on the initial can. It was still excellent day one, but this is the Death Metal, guys. This is a triple IPA by Trillium, or an Imperial, whatever you want to call it. It's a 10.2% monster. This is Untapped, I believe, says it has Galaxy, Mosaic, and Citra, and it does feature some of those tropical fruit notes, some of the Southern Hemisphere tartness. It's a little bit of that. But I recall the last time I had this 2 days ago, there was a nice mango and peach note starting to come out in that hoppiness, like a white nectarine was showing up somewhere in there. A beautiful grapefruit presence. And then a little bit of an orange zest peel, which is what the description indicates. This is not a fluffy, juicy, mellow, hazy like you'll get from Treehouse normally. This is a big, biting IPA and Imperial, and it is every bit as hoppy as you would expect. But the one thing this beer has that's really special to me is that the hops are so powerful, it almost smells like blue cheese. Now, when I start smelling hops that smell like blue cheese, it's that moldy, fungal thing. You might think that that's a bad idea, but trust me. Oh yeah, hops are hop overload, man. It's so tropical and alive. It's pineapple all over it. Pineapple, mango, grapefruit. You let it warm, a little bit of peach starts to come out. Definitely peach. Orange is not as big here. You're not looking for your mellow orange juice haze. The orange is kind of playing a supporting role in here. But you're getting more of that like raw mango, pineapple, grapefruit thing. And I love those. I absolutely love those notes. And yes, as it is aged, even just like 5 days later in the can, I'm telling you, it makes a difference on these big IPAs. Having them right out of the can you're sometimes missing some of the fruit taste that a slightly cellared beer will give you. Not always, but in these big ones from Trillium, it sometimes happens. And a nice peach comes in there, just beautiful, like these huge juicy notes, amazing, absolutely incredible, guys. I'm just gonna do spoiler alert. This is one of my favorite IPAs in a long time. Man. Oh, peach juice comes out, grapefruits, mangoes, pineapple juice, balanced as all hell, orange pith, a little bit of dancing in there too. Oh, it's so freaking good. And it's the most incredible thing. The drinkability is off the charts, guys. For a 10.2 IPA, it is one of the most drinkable beers I've ever experienced. And that is saying something. This is the second iteration of this beer, I believe. Last year's Halloween, they started it. This year's variant is getting, I think, a 4.63 on Untapped or something around there. That's a huge score for Trillium. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a Trillium beer get into the 4.6s before on Untapped. Maybe the Congress Street. But for an Imperial IPA, holy moly. This is up there with the streets, man. And it's kind of really holding its own against that 8-hop monster. What's funny is the juicy notes have definitely gotten better with just a little bit of celery. Now I'm getting pure grapefruit and pineapple juice in there. Just like, the hops follow and kind of cover your entire palate, your entire breath. Just is tropical hoppiness. It's just so drinkable and balanced, but super flavorful. This is one of the best Imperial IPAs I've ever had, for sure. It's in my, that hop breath is fantastic, man. You're going to need gum after this beer. That's how hoppy it is. And that's where Trillium specializes in these hop bombs. This one gets to that old school level where you're eating the hops themselves. Like you took a handful of hop pellets and just started freaking chewing on them. That's what we're getting here. But there's a juiciness that accompanies it that's so inviting and so delicious. Again, it's that grapefruit and pineapple juice mostly with some mango notes. I get the peach also, maybe like a white nectarine. Again, I was thinking it's not just a candied peach. It's kind of a tartar peach as well, but it's not tart. You could say under-ripened. It's just fantastic. This beer is fantastic. And as it warms, again, for me, when I start getting that blue cheese indicator in the nose, it's something that maybe only I get, but when you smell that mold on a blue cheese, it has that almost vegetal stink to it. And I find that sometimes in these big multi-hopped IPAs, if they're done right with enough hop bite, I can sometimes start smelling something similar to maybe a truffle or a blue cheese mold. And it's not because the beer has mold in it. It's because that's how strong the hops are. Delicious. Well, this needs to warm for the official review, but you already know where I'm putting it, guys. It's a 10. It's an interdimensional in the category. It's just so damn good. You need to get your hands on this one if they're still selling it. Go to Trillium and pick up some Death Mettle. Cyclone back here with the Death Mettle by Trillium Brewing. Guys, this is a very impressive Imperial IPA. This is incredible, man. The middle has this nice mango pineapple juiciness that comes out. A little bit of orange rind and grapefruit dance in as well. And then the hot breath kicks in, man. And it kicks in like a mule. It kicks your palate with that pure, like I took the hops from the garden and I put them into your glass. And that's exactly what Trillium specializes in. If you guys want hop breath, buy Trillium IPA, but especially their Imperial offerings. These beers do not hold back on the hoppiness. And it's not, in this case, it's not green onion. It's more pure tropical hop. Oh, it's so easy. It's so easy to drink. Little pineapple, mango-y thing. Yep. Grapefruit juice. Orange peel bleeds in a little bit. We're not really getting a mellow orange juice in here at all. It's grapefruit and mango and pineapple. I feel like those flavors have come out more. Orange is playing a supporting role here. And that's probably due to the Mosaic and Galaxy combo. The Citra is not able to overpower the craziness of that Galaxy. I would say this leans more toward the Galaxy and Mosaic side. It's a little bit more citrus tart and dry versus a pillowy juice, like a Citra sweetness. So there's a little bit more of the vegetal tartness that the Southern Hemisphere hops are known for. I really dig that. It's a preference thing. So if you want that Galaxy beer on steroids, that freaking, you get that pineapple juice, mango taste, and then you get that pure residual hoppiness on the back, and it tastes like you just bit into hops themselves. You get that raw flavor in the back. Now, I personally really dig that in a triple IPA. It's something that I look for because it proves to me that I'm paying for something worth the hopping. Like they gave me enough hops to taste them. And that's a huge win in my book. The hops aren't oniony or off-putting or bitter. They're just hoppy. To explain what hops taste like, most people would say they taste bitter. But for me, I usually liken it to a slight Brussels sprout taste. Not quite as tart as a Brussels sprout, but it's getting to that vegetal aroma. And that's how I equate this sort of hoppy sensation. This is Trillium's party piece. They are very good at making hop flavor come out in the beer, like you have raw hops in your glass. Treehouse is juicierville. They're like, here's a glass of OJ, take a chill pill, man, eat an edible, and have a nice, pleasant afternoon. Trillium is like, you need to taste our garden, man, and shoves it in your face. Like here's the hop garden. It's in your glass, and this beer captures it perfectly, man. Oh yeah, and grapefruit and the little bit of a peach kind of juice comes in, a little bit of a mango juice. It's right in the middle too. It's right in the middle of your tongue, but all around it is this like super hoppy tropicalness that's very prevalent. But then it's kind of dry and not overimposing. It's very well done, guys. This beer is fantastic and a perfect candidate to have sit in your fridge for a couple of weeks before you crack it open. There are juicy notes in here, but the hops do come in at the end and say, don't forget about us. And it's not going to hold back on those hoppy notes. This is exactly what I'm looking for when I'm paying for extra hopping in a beer, 10.2%. I want to taste that hopping, and I taste it here. This is a 10. This is a 10, and it's getting a 4.61 on Untapped, which is in their world-class upper echelon category. Anything above a 4.5 on Untapped, you're in the Mount Rushmore state. You're getting to that, like, top of the mountain status. And this is a 4.61. So, wow. They nailed it, man. For an Imperial IPA, it doesn't get better. Like, very few could probably top this. And the only way that you could top it is maybe, if there was a slight bit more juiciness. But I want the hoppiness when they've added more hops in the ABV. And honestly, in my opinion, that's why Treehouse doesn't really make these beers. Only Trillium does it. Trillium isn't afraid to go past that 10% mark and get you that hoppy breath. So when it comes to this category of beer, these guys are up at the top. When it comes to double IPAs, you could argue that Treehouse is a little bit more enjoyable in terms of their juicy pillowiness. But once you want hop gravy and you want to taste that vegetal impact, go with Trillium, man. Their beers are outstanding, as you guys know. But that's going to do it for Death Metal. Go pick it up. If what I said to you sounds remotely interesting, go get this one.